Games of Summer Day 2, the gun course trial for these rewards. You'll be relieved to hear I think the gold medal for this is easier than yesterday. I guess that depends on how much you like shooting versus parkouring, but I got a silver just walking through learning the course, so that was a good sign. For the weapons I chose, I always took the Renetti and then the UMP. That gives you 40 shots, and that should be more than you need to get the 40 targets without reloading, because ideally you'll be getting some collaterals. Accuracy is huge to be saving time, and for the accuracy bonus at the end. The UMP isn't too hard to tap shoot, but to make things easier for yourself, you should put it in single fire. The Fennec is the other SMG available, also 25 rounds, but the UMP attachments give it a much snappier aim down sight time, which was huge for this. I started with the UMP because switching to your pistol is always faster than reloading. This time, I'll start by breaking down a full run through, then add some other tips at the end. In the first section, I liked to come around the corner and start with the far right target, because otherwise he gets too far behind you as you walk forward, and it's annoying to turn around. After that though, I go left to right, making sure to get the collateral in the middle. You could also prioritize that middle collateral to make sure you get them when they're lined up, and then get the other two targets. Moving up, here I'll be sweeping left to right again, starting with the collat here to the left, then pick off that guy, line up another collat on the moving target there, then finish the guy on the far right. You could also take out the far right guy first if you're fast, or line up the collateral using the guy on the far right if you're slower. Moving up the stairs, melee with your knife. Just kidding, but shoot the one guy there, then be ready for the next one at the left of the whiteboard. There is going to be a civilian who pops up a split second later, so aim for the right side of that target. Then I'm going to take out the one in the right side of the room, and then get the collat in the middle. If you want to take this room slower, you could go left to right to make sure you're ready for the collat in the middle. Next room, no fancy tricks here. I'm going to take out the two in the wire window, the one in the room, and the one on the left. Moving forward, I like to throw in a slide there. Also no collats here. I take out the window guy, the guy on the right, and the guy on the ground to the left. Now this cluster of targets is tricky. What I did after some practice was take care of the far right target right away, then quickly take a collateral in the middle, which is super close to a moving civilian. It's hard to describe where to aim, you just have to see where the targets are at the time and visualize it, then finish with the collat on the left. The timing of that is tough because there are many moving targets, and there are other ways you could clear that section with only 3 shots. But this is later in the course, so don't stress about it. If you just want to pick off each target one by one in here, or miss a collat, that's totally fine. Now the UMP is getting low. Here's where I swap to the Renetti to burst through the double door. Before moving forward, I stop right there and get the collat on the 2 to my left. Then I just picked off the other 3 in the room. You can get a collat in there with the guy on the right with good timing, but this run is certainly not perfect. In the next section, I ran forward a bit, just waiting for the 2 fast-moving targets to line up for that collat, then picked off the 3rd guy, and in the final section, you can finish with 2 more collats. Just aim for the target in the back there, and wait for the other target to move in front, and then move forward for the final collat on the left. You could even crouch to make that an easier shot. And there's a relatively clean run of the course, which resulted in a 26.9. Like last time, you need 40 seconds for the gold here. So you have a lot of room to take your time more than I was in that run. I had some runs that felt not so hot, that were still well within the 40 seconds. I'll acknowledge that I'm sure using mouse makes these things easier. I don't know what the aim assist is like on these trials, but then again, when I said that last time for parkour, there were people who said they switched to controller because they found that easier. So whatever you're used to, I guess. I went to PC a couple years ago, but I think I could still get gold on controller. Maybe I'll try that later in solidarity. Now remember that some of the collateral lineups will change if you take longer, but you don't need to get all of them. If you just keep walking forward and take out every target, you can still get the gold. I think most of the collats shouldn't be too tough to do. It's mainly that cluster before the door breach that I'd consider the least consistent part, but that's also because it's later in the course and I had far less practice there. One thing I did a few times was just run through the first half of the course, ignoring everything, to figure out how I wanted to do the later section, which you may also want to try to get a good feel for the whole course. Because I know personally I get way too much practice in the first 3 sections, because that's where I keep restarting for every tiny mistake. Well, that's all I have for a quick guide on this gun course. This wasn't a world record run, obviously. Well, maybe it was when I got it, who knows, but not anymore. There's always plenty more you can do to optimize. It isn't like I found the perfect route in my half hour of attempts before going to work on the video. The goal is to help with gold. If you want to get a record, then Godspeed. Maybe I'll keep going for a better time later, because it is pretty addicting. Like I did revisit the parkour, I got pretty consistent at that. I can do 32s now, but I know sub 30 was possible. Yeah, no thanks. 1 hour hour of smashing double tap sprint is enough for me. I don't want to compete with the global community of dedicated speedrunners. Sadly, the leaderboards still say they're populated each day, but did not get populated, so we'll see when those go live. Good luck with your gold, and also have fun. Clearly from the comments, a lot of people really hated that parkour. I get it could be frustrating, but wow, whole paragraphs about how Infinity Ward is the Antichrist because of this event. I mean, I think trials are a fun challenge. Nobody's forcing you to do these. If it's torture, then who cares about some dumb Grau? If you hate these, then don't bother. But once again, good luck, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.